Hey there, duelists! Welcome back to Team APS Plus. Today, I posit a question to you guys. Are Yu-Gi-Oh packs gambling? And it's an interesting one because honestly, I feel like it's something that we say in jest all the time, like as a joke, Yu-Gi-Oh's gambling or it's a one big gotcha game, and people sort of say it in a humorous way, but I do think that there could be some truth to it. And of course, before we get into this, I am not like going to be approaching this from like a super legal expert perspective. I don't know anything about that. I'm sure there's somebody in the comments who can educate us all on like, yes, it is legally gambling, or no, it is not, or whatever. And that's fine. I welcome it. I just wanted to bring this stuff up because I want to hear like what you guys think about it, how you feel about this, and just share my own thoughts about the whole thing. I decided that I kind of want to approach it from like 3 different angles because I think that the answer sort of changes depending on which angle you're viewing this from. The first angle being the sort of, I guess, I hesitate to use the word legal, but like the just retail marketing product perspective. Is the product what it is? The second one is from the perspective of like a player, just a Yu-Gi-Oh player playing the game. Are these packs gambling? And the third is from, I guess, like a vendor, collector sort of angle. So yeah, we're gonna cover all 3. But first, before we get into all that, a quick word from Ewin Racing. They sponsored this video. They sent me this really awesome new gaming chair. You might have noticed that it's different from the last one. I really like this, but they've got lots of different ones on their website. So if you're interested in picking up a gaming chair, maybe for the holidays, you can find them in loads of different colors, loads of different designs. They sent this one over to me and it's very comfortable and I love it. It can move up and down and it's got like this really nice backrest thing that helps with lumbar support. So yeah, if you go over to their website, you can use the code TEAMAPS and you'll get 30% off your order, which is really helpful because these can be pricey. And if you want to get one at a discount, this is a great opportunity to do it. So yeah, that's Ewin Racing, links in the description of this video. All right, so now let's get back to talking about gambling and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. God, that took a dark turn. Okay, I will start with the sort of marketing product perspective thing I talked about. We'll call this perspective 1. I think from that angle, Yu-Gi-Oh cards are not gambling. I think that the product that you're getting is exactly what you're promised. So what I mean by that is a pack does have a set MSRP and it does contain 9 cards. And that means like I'm talking about Darkwing Blast, Power of the Elements, like a standard Yu-Gi-Oh pack, right? It contains the 9 cards that it promises to contain. And it does always contain a foil card, which is another thing that it does promise. And so because you can use all the cards in the product that you're buying in Yu-Gi-Oh, like every card in a pack is playable. I know we're stretching the definition of that word, but like any card in any pack can be put in a deck and legally used in tournaments or with your friends. And so within the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game, I think that like the product that you purchase off the shelf is not gambling. You're getting exactly what you pay for. You know exactly what it is. And even going so far as to like talk about rarities and stuff, we do know that like you're getting a foil in each pack. Higher rarities aren't guaranteed, but Konami does provide expected ratios, although I do know that they like kind of do that thing now where it's like no ratio is guaranteed. I think that used to be different. I believe in the past Yu-Gi-Oh packs kind of had like a guaranteed ratio that they would print on them and they sort of changed that. I think that might have been around like 2016. Somebody can correct me if I'm a little bit wrong on that. But yeah, so I think that part feels like it isn't gambling. Like just what you're promised on the shelf is what you get. And even what you're promised in a box. A box is just a guarantee of getting 24 packs. A case is just a guarantee of getting, 12 boxes, which each have 24 packs. So there's not like, I guess, the chance that you can open a Yu-Gi-Oh pack and get 2 cards instead of 9, or like 1 card and get none. You will get 9 cards. They are legally playable, not gambling, right? Okay, that's perspective 1. Perspective 2 is from the player's perspective, right? I think from a player's angle point of view, yes, I do feel that Yu-Gi-Oh packs kind of are more like gambling. And the reason why is because, yes, while like the cards are legally playable from angle 1 that we were talking about, as players, we all know that not all cards are really made equal. In fact, with most packs that we open, I feel like you're looking for the foil, right? That's kind of what you're looking for, and maybe 1 or 2 other specific cards, but most stuff is kind of filler. It's a commonly agreed upon thing that just most packs, you're not interested in a lot of the cards. And you're only really going to make your money back if you get more than like a super rare in most cases. I guess that one bestial monster would have something to say about that right now, but you know what I mean, right? You're kind of looking to get an ultra rare, you're looking to get a secret rare, and there are like given odds of it, but you're not guaranteed to get one. And that in and of itself, that kind of elusiveness is sort of part of what makes the whole pack like a gamble and a chase, is that like there are things that are more valuable than the default promise of what you're getting, and that's kind of what you're looking for. And there's a very real chance that you can open a pack and just not use any of the things in it. We see that all the time with YouTubers, you know, tearing open boxes all day long, right? If that's what's going on, and they're just like skipping the packs until they get like useful things, Starlight or whatever, or it could just be like an ultra or secret, then yeah, like I think for Yu-Gi-Oh players, there is an element of gambling involved in it. I think that given that there is like a secondary market, which we'll get into a little bit more, I think that we kind of know, like, even if the pack costs like $4 or $4.50 now, it's not really like worth $4.50 to the average player. So yeah, I think from the perspective of like a Yu-Gi-Oh player, it's probably gambling. And that third perspective is from like the vendor's point of view. Or maybe like you could lump in collectors or something like that. I think from a vendor's point of view, there's also a gamble involved too. I believe that that kind of comes from the secondary market, just the existence of it. Whether or not Konami wants to admit it, cards do have price tags. I mean, you can go on TCG Player, you can go on eBay, and you know, the value of a random common card, I was gonna try to pull one out for reference, I don't have one nearby, but the value of like a random common card is not the value of, you know, whatever the newest like secret rare chase card is. And cards do have different values even like along that spectrum. Certain packs are known for having higher value than other packs. So I think that, you know, buying a pack of Darkwing Blast is different than buying a pack of maybe like Dimension Force, because the cards in there are less relevant with time. And there's sort of because there's a secondary market to it, and because players, you know, will demand some cards over other cards, then as a vendor, there's a card that you might be looking for that's easier to move with players for like business and sales and transactions than another one, even if they are both secret rares. And so that's kind of what gives like the secret rare cards their differing price tags. One secret rare might be worth like, you know, 40, 50 bucks or whatever, right? But then another secret rare might only be worth 10. So even if the ratio of secret rares that we talked about before is like more or less guaranteed, like, you know, 2 secrets a box, though Konami still has one a minute, but 2 secrets a box and 4 ultras, that doesn't mean that each box will still, like, even if they have those things, they won't be worth the same amount. Just, you know, speaking a little bit more on that, I think that it's the fact that like different sets can literally have different price tags also just depends on whether or not the set, like how good all the secrets collectively are. Like, does the set have a lot of good secret rares? Then that means that they'll all have something of a price tag, but it'll generally be lower. Whereas a top-heavy set where there's like one card in it that's worth a lot, we've had plenty of sets like this in the past. I think of like Rising Rampage with Apollosa, Pot of Prosperity that came out in, was it Blazing Vortex? I feel so old now. But yeah, you know, a Pot of Prosperity, but there's like no other secret rares people want. You can get like this top heavy set where like, you know, the one chase secret's worth like $100 and then the other secrets aren't worth anything. So yeah, I think that this varying thing means that like if you're a vendor, it does feel like buying packs is gambling. So where do I personally land on it all after that? I think it's gambling. I mean, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is gambling. I don't think it's like gambling in the like, oh, it's like illegal and addictive and terrible way, although it can be. But I do think that it's gambling. Like, I don't think it's like buying a normal product. But I will say that my sort of asterisk there, or like silver lining, is that you know what you're getting into, I think, with Yu-Gi-Oh. So if you're buying packs, hopefully at least, you are aware of what's happening. I know some people maybe aren't as aware of ratios, or maybe they are like addicted to opening stuff, like Larry is. He really does buy a lot of packs. But yeah, so I would say it is. I think there's also maybe like a few other random unrelated, or not unrelated, but like external factors, supply and demand, I suppose. You know, I remember during COVID, it was hard to find like Yu-Gi-Oh packs, and so there was some scarcity there, and that could sort of factor into whether or not it's like gambling. I guess not really, I don't know. Anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. Do you guys feel that Yu-Gi-Oh is sort of considered a type of gambling? Would you say that it is not? Where on the spectrum does your answer lie? Because I think that there's some nuance to be had there. And of course, if you actually know the truth about all this stuff and like gambling law and marketing, retail law or whatever, you can fill us all in as well. All right, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you check out Ewin Racing. Use that code TEAMAPS for 30% off. It's on in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Pass turn.